How you guys doing today? We're here to talk about the benefits of drinking water. A lot of things, this is something that I think most of us take for granted, and most of us actually suffer from chronic dehydration. And so dehydration, if some of you aren't aware, is the lack of water in our body. So you may know that our bodies are made up of about 60% water. So when you think about this, to kind of put this in perspective, most of us have eaten beef jerky before. So beef jerky is essentially dehydrated beef, and it's substantially smaller than the actual thick steak, obviously. So you can tell the difference that it'll substantially reduce in size. You see this in, say for example, in an orange or some fruit, and how it dehydrates and the water goes out of it. Most of the things are primarily based on water. We are no exception. Water is in every aspect of our body, from our brain to our blood to our organs to our heart, lungs, liver. It's everywhere. So it's very, very important. It's vital to our life. In fact, there was a statistic showing that we cannot survive more than 3 days without water. So it's important. You got to listen to this. If you're not drinking enough water now, you definitely need to pay attention to what I'm saying, because this will absolutely change your life. So, as I said, 60% of our body is made up of water. Now, we all say we want to change. We all say we want to improve ourselves, but who actually does it, right? There was a quote from Gandhi, and he says, "You must be the change you want to see in your life." So how I take that is that Gandhi is saying that we need to become what we want to be. And we need, it's kind of like, in hip hop culture, they say fake it till you make it. That's essentially what he's saying. You're going to act as if you want to be. And so if you want to be a successful actor, then you're going to act as if you're a successful actor. And what does a successful actor does? They practice a lot. They read their lines. They go on a lot of interviews. If you want to be a successful athlete, you look at Michael Jordan. He practices all the time. I mean, he was known for his work ethic. And so if you want to be something, you have to do it, and you have to act it. So if you want to have a better life, you want to feel better about yourself, you want to feel better internally, you want to have more energy, then there are certain things we know that you can do. All you have to do is do it. It's just a matter of action. So today what we're talking about is a simple thing of drinking more water and how it's going to affect your life. So it's really simple, right? We all drink water. We all know that you need to drink water. But the problem is most of us, we simply just don't drink enough. And because of it, it causes lots of problems in our body. And I want to tell you some statistics. Some simple things that really, it just hits it home that, for example, our brain consists of 80% water. 80%. So without water, you don't have a brain, essentially. 78% of our heart consists of water. 85% of our blood consists of water. 80% of our lungs. You can see the pattern here. It is a large proportion of the vital organs in our body, so it's so important to have enough water. And the reality is most of us, we live at a level of mild dehydration to moderate dehydration all the time. And it affects us. And you probably don't even realize how much, in fact, it does affect you. And there's things like your mood, anxiety, your energy, just thinking straight requires water. And a lot of these things we're being affected by, and a lot of these things are changing our lives already for the worse, and we don't even realize it. And you won't realize it, the full effect, until you actually drink enough water, until you're fully hydrated for an extended period of time. It doesn't happen overnight. You know, the problem didn't begin over one night, it began over a long period of time. So what I want to talk about now is the different functions in our body and what water is used for, and then you can kind of get a better idea of how it's really affecting us, and how it's making such an impact in our body. Now, starting from the top, our body, the head, in our brain, obviously I said it consisted of about 80% water. So what does it do? It allows for cell growth, and in our brain is a conductor of electricity. So we have all of our nerves that are firing electrical impulses that are causing us to do our actions, like moving our hands, speaking, thought, our mood. All of these things happen, and the water gives the ability to allow these electrical impulses to pass. Without the water, that doesn't happen. So you can imagine with less water, you're going to have more problems with these issues, with your mood, your stability, your thought process, your short-term memory, your memory in general, how you speak, your speech patterns. All these things are related to your brain, and with the decreased function of your brain because of lack of water, it's going to affect all these things. So you can imagine you're going to make a big impact on your life just by doing the simple thing of drinking enough water. Saliva. Saliva, obviously, in our mouth is, obviously you can tell it consists of a large portion of water. But what does saliva actually do for us? Saliva helps us to break down the food. So when we're eating, we're chewing, it helps to lubricate the food so we can swallow when it goes down the esophagus. It helps to actually start to break down the food, so it aids in digestion. So if you're not getting enough water, you're not drinking while you're eating food, it's going to definitely affect the way you break down the nutrients and use the nutrients for your body's function. The blood. We know blood is liquid, so it makes sense. It's a large portion of it is water. Again, with the blood, the water helps as essentially a substrate. So blood is going to flow through our veins, and the only way it flows is if there's enough water. Now, within the blood, we have these blood cells, and the cells themselves are going to be diluted with the water, and the more dilute they are, the easier they're going to flow through the veins and get to where they need to be. The red blood cells are what carries the oxygen and nutrients to the cells. So it's very important, obviously, for every aspect of our body to have enough water to flow through the veins, get to the muscles, get to your brain, get to every vital organ. Very important. When we are dehydrated, the concentration of blood cells within the blood is substantially higher. So less water gets it more concentrated. Imagine like a sludge trying to get through the hose. So if you're trying to fire mud through a hose, it's going to be a lot more difficult. But if you add a little bit of water, everything glides nice and easily. So it's the same concept with the blood. We want to have enough fluid and be hydrated enough to keep the blood moving and to work optimally. We all need to control our temperature. I live in Las Vegas. We're in Vegas right now, and it's a desert. So in the summer, it gets extremely hot. So we have to regulate our temperature. Now it's winter, it's cold, so we want to maintain our temperature. The water is used to help us maintain our temperature through sweat. So when you get hot, your body sweats and you release some of the water, and the water itself allows the surface of your skin to cool off, and it maintains the temperature of your body. Without sweat, you won't be able to maintain your body and maintain your temperature, and it could cause some major damage to your organs. When your body temperature gets above a certain temperature, your organs start to shut down, and it could lead to death. So we call that heat exhaustion. So very important that you are hydrated enough to cool your body down. When you're dehydrated, one of the ways to tell is that you're not sweating. So when you would expect to be sweating and you're not sweating, or you're sweating less than you think you would have normally, you're probably dehydrated. So very important. Kidney function. Kidneys are the part of our body that flushes out all the toxins. So the toxins that you get through medications, if you're eating processed food, there's toxins from everything that we're eating, our deodorant, lotions, all these things that we're absorbing these chemicals in our body, and our body has to excrete all these toxins, and the kidneys are what does it. You'll notice that when you go to the bathroom and you urinate, sometimes your urine is yellow and sometimes it's clear. The yellow is when urine is more concentrated and there's more toxins for the volume that it is in, so it tends to be a darker, yellower color. So when you are hydrated, your urine will be more clear because there's more water for the toxins and particles, so they're spread out over a larger area, so it appears to be more clear. Getting rid of the toxins in your bodies, I mean, it's very clear. It's obvious that we can see the importance of getting rid of these things. A lot of people will do cleanses to get rid of these toxins, but the simple thing, everybody can do it. You drink enough water. That's the number one thing. It's so easy. It's so easy to pick up the water bottle and drink every single day. You should be drinking about a gallon a day, give or take. How it actually affects our body. I've talked about this a little bit, but in our brain, when we don't have enough water, you get lethargic, you fatigue, you get cognitive issues, and cognitive issues are the way you're thinking. So your moods would be different. When you're dehydrated, you may be in a bad mood because of it. You don't feel good, so you start thinking different things. Your memory can be impaired. Not only that, when you think about dehydration and sports, if you're an athlete, it can affect your motor function, and that has to do with the head, because remember, if those neurons aren't firing properly, they're not telling our muscles to do what we want them to do. So as an athlete, if you are dehydrated, you're going to have more of a problem functioning at a level that you want to function. In fact, there was a study that showed that with moderate dehydration, you get about 20% reduction in physical function. 20% reduction is a huge number. When you think about a professional athlete, to be reduced by 20% is a huge number. I mean, and that can make the difference in winning or losing. Championship, second place. And again, so simple. Just drink water. Fatigue. I personally noticed this a lot. I was drinking a lot of coffee before. I felt like every morning I would get up and I'd be dragging. And sorry, we had one of our videos went out. So fatigue in the morning. I was dragging. I felt like I had to drink coffee just to survive, just to get by. And after I started drinking water regularly, I completely stopped drinking coffee, and I have more energy than I've ever had, and I feel good throughout the whole day. So it's an important thing. There have been studies as far as kidney stones. We talked about the kidneys are eliminating toxins in our body. So what happens if your urine is too concentrated, so you don't have enough water that's flowing through your kidneys at the right times? If this happens, you are at a higher risk for kidney stones. And there was a study that showed that with mild to moderate levels of dehydration, you're at a substantially higher rate, by about 35 to 40% increase in risk for kidney stones. If you've ever had a kidney stone, you don't want one. You don't want one. And if you haven't had one, ask your friends that have, because it is extremely painful. And some people have likened it to giving birth. Not that I know what that's like, but imagine trying to pee out a marble size whole globule out through a tiny little tube with your urethra. It can be extremely painful, and most people say it feels like razor blades trying to come through, and I don't even want to think about it. It's making me sick just thinking about it. But people end up needing a lot of pain medication. They're in the hospital. They need to get rehydrated when they have kidney stones, so it's not good. Again, just a simple solution: drink water. Let's see, what else? Our blood pressure. Many people in this world now have high blood pressure. So if you think about this, why does water affect your blood pressure? Well, if you have thicker blood, your heart needs to pump harder to get the blood through the veins. And so we go back to this analogy of imagine if it was thicker, kind of like a sludge or a mud trying to get through this tube. And so if you're trying to squeeze this blood through there and it's thicker and it's kind of, there's resistance on the blood going through the blood vessels, that resistance causes more stress on the heart. And the heart can work harder, put you at a higher risk for heart disease. So you obviously don't want that. The blood pressure, because we're pushing harder, there's more resistance in the blood vessels and you get a higher blood pressure. Many of you may know if you have higher blood pressure that it leads to cardiovascular disease, heart disease, strokes. These are things that are the major killers in our country. So a simple way to reduce your risks is staying hydrated on a regular basis. Now, I realize some of these things you may not feel, you may not appreciate on a daily basis, but there's a lot of things that you just don't even realize the effects of dehydration and what it's doing to your body. You'll see when you start to drink more water the difference that it makes. You'll see, I promise you, within 3-4 days, a week, you're going to notice like a total different change in yourself. But you gotta write this stuff down. You gotta pay attention because most people aren't paying attention to their body. So you gotta be more in tune of what's going on. Wrinkles. People are always concerned about aging, right? I was just talking to one of my employees. She's in her mid-30s and thinking that she's old. It's crazy. We don't want to look old, right? None of us want to look old. You start getting into your 40s, your 50s, your 60s. Your skin starts to droop. You start to see more wrinkles. Now, how is water going to change that? Well, as I said before, our skin consists of about 70% water, so it is well hydrated, and you can tell the difference. When you put lotion on your skin, you're doing that to hydrate the skin. Well, we can actually hydrate the skin from the inside just by drinking water. So, how do you notice this in your skin? When you get dry skin, it's that flaky. The skin actually starts to shrivel up to some degree, just like if you imagine, I'm sure you've all seen this like roadkill on the side of the road, and these animals, if they lay there for long enough, they start to shrivel up and they get compact and they're tiny. Well, the same thing will happen to us eventually. Our skin and everything starts to shrivel up as we get dehydrated. So the presence of wrinkles, all those fine wrinkles in your face, fine wrinkles in your hands, all these fine wrinkles will be substantially more apparent when you're dehydrated. What I noticed personally, and this was a big thing, and I didn't realize this till months afterwards, because I'm a guy, I didn't really pay attention to my skin tone, but my skin was so much softer, and it felt moist. It felt and looked more plump in my face. A lot of those wrinkles, those fine lines disappeared. I started doing this with the drinking of the water, a gallon of water a day, about 2 years ago, and it has been such a profound impact. And since it's been 2 years now, I look at pictures of myself from before I started doing this, and it's amazing. I literally look 5 to 10 years younger than I did just 2 years ago, and I feel so much younger too. So it's not just the look, it's the feel. That's a big part of it, is how you feel on a day-to-day basis and the way you function. Don't take this lightly. Some of you, I'm sure, you're going to go home and be like, oh, this guy is full of crap. I don't need to listen to him. Water's not that big of a deal. Absolutely it is. And I'll tell you what, not drinking water and drinking soda, it dehydrates you more. Drinking teas, drinking juices, all of those are actually going to dehydrate you to some degree. So don't think that just because you're drinking something that it's the same as water. Absolutely it's not. You have to drink water. You have to drink a lot of water. If you want to drink some of these other things, that's fine. I don't recommend that at all. I don't personally. I don't drink any sodas. I don't drink any coffees, teas. You can. That's fine. Limit it. So limit it to one other drink a day and drink as much water as you can throughout the day. That's how you're going to get the results. Another big thing, especially our patients here at MyShape Lipo, they're going to be interested in losing weight. So water helps your body function properly. And if your body's functioning properly, your metabolism is working, your muscles are working, your organs are working, everything is working in conjunction, it's working the way it should work. And because of that, the studies have shown that we burn calories at a higher rate when we're hydrated. And one study showed that in a 1-year period of doing nothing different other than drinking water, patients on average would lose 5 pounds. And that's with doing absolutely nothing different, maintaining their similar diet, doing no more exercise, and just drinking water. So if you want to lose weight, drinking water will help facilitate that and help it move faster. Now, a story about me personally, how I got into doing this. I was watching, I saw one of these Facebook ads, right? Drink a gallon a day challenge for a month. And so I figured I'd give it a shot, try it out. And starting to drink water, I noticed within the first week that I felt more energized. I was able to, I knew I had to stop drinking coffee, and so I stopped. And drinking the water made it, I didn't even crave it. I didn't feel like I needed to drink the coffee. I didn't feel tired. I felt like I was in a better mood. My wife would beg to differ, but I felt like I was in a better mood. I felt like I was able to think more clearly. I was able to function better at work. Answer my emails. I write a lot. I read a lot. I tend to retain knowledge a lot better. So when I'm reading, I feel like I'm retaining the information better. All these things, and it's just small details. It's the things that you probably don't notice right now. You probably don't notice our deficit right now. You probably don't realize that all these things are becoming a problem for you. The only way you're going to know is when they're better. When you've drank a gallon a day for a week, a month, 3 months, the results continue to compile. They get better. The quality of your skin will get better in time. If you have issues with dry skin, you got to drink water. You got to drink lots of water. Now, how do you tell if you're dehydrated? So this is a big thing, right? So how do you know that you're dehydrated? Do you have to go to the doctor? No, you don't. It's actually quite easy, and you can kind of look at some of the symptoms that you have of yourself. So how do we tell? The water that we have when you're hydrated, the mucous membrane, so the inside of your mouth, the inside of your nose, your eyes, these are what we consider mucous membranes. When you're hydrated, they're all lubricated well and moving well. When you have dry mouth, you're dehydrated. When your eyes are dry, you're dehydrated. When your nose is dry, you're dehydrated. When you're peeing, when you go to the bathroom and your urine is yellow, you're dehydrated. These are the signs. Most people don't pay attention to them. You need to be better. You need to, what was the Gandhi's quote? You must be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. So if you want to look and feel better, you got to do the things that you should be doing to look and feel better before you get there. The world's not a crazy enough place to have people get what they want without doing the things that they need to do to get them. So if you want to have something, you have to go out and get it. You have to do the actions to get the results that you're looking for. If you want to lose weight with a diet, you actually have to diet. Crazy thing, I know. But you actually have to stick to a diet more than just a week, more than just a month. It's not, if you think about a diet in that you're going to do it for a short period of time, try to lose the weight, and then life's going to be great after that, you're crazy. It's never going to happen. You're going to be one of those people that do the roller coaster diets. So the yo-yo diets, I lose 10 pounds this week, but next week I put on 15 pounds. And then the next week after that I lose another 10 pounds and I put on 20 pounds. These people, I promise you, there's people, you probably know them, you may be one of them yourselves, where you just go up and down, up and down. You want to change your life, you got to change what you do. And it starts with the simple things. It starts with the little habits. Drinking water is just the first thing that I changed. You're going to see a series of videos now. I'm going to talk about quite a few of the other things that I've done, and I've made some huge changes in the habits that I do in my normal daily routines that have made such a profound impact on my life. And I'll tell you, I've been doing this for about 2 years now, and it's incredible. I feel unstoppable. I feel like I can do anything. I feel like I have so much energy. I have the capabilities to do amazing things. But there's reasons for this, because I've been doing. I've been following the rules, and not only did I follow the rules, I followed them for 2 years now. And it's made such a big difference in my life. And the simple thing that I'm talking about now is just drinking water. And so, what do I do? You know, I drink about 1 gallon a day. And what I do, let me show you. I have brought my water bottle. So simple water bottle, you can get these at Target, Walmart. They're about $5, really cheap. If you have all the water that you want to drink in one day within one place, you can know exactly how much you're drinking. That makes it a lot easier. If you're just randomly drinking water here and drinking water there, you're not going to be able to track it. So it's important to track this. So you need to pay attention. You need to stay focused on this. And if you're thinking about it, you're more likely to do it. Nowadays, you may have reminders on your phone. You can put reminders on your phone to every few hours take a drink of water. If you have an Apple Watch, set a reminder on your Apple Watch. Every few hours, drink some water. This isn't complex here. Now, one of the things that people say, and what are the excuses people say, right? Oh, I don't have time. You know, if I drink too much water, I'm going to have to go to pee all the time, and I can't do that. You know, look, people make excuses about everything and why they can't do what they need to do. So stop making excuses, because it's your life. It's you. You're the one that's going to benefit from this. And so really, you know, no one else cares more than you do about yourself. So you have to take it upon yourself. Be responsible for yourself, because you're the one that's going to benefit. So take the time, drink the water, follow through. And this isn't just I'm not challenging you to a 1-month challenge. I'm not challenging you to a 1-week challenge. This is a lifetime challenge. This is something that you should get in the habit of doing every single day. Every single day you should be following this. Every single day you should be drinking 1 gallon of water a day. Now, some of the other ways I was talking about how you can tell, we mentioned, so the thirst. So now, all of us get thirsty, right? Most of us will suppress the thirst sensation, and we'll suppress it to the point where we don't listen to it. So you actually have to initially make that effort to drink on a regular basis. Even though you may not feel like drinking, you got to drink. And eventually you get more in tune with your body, and you get that sensation back that when you feel thirsty, you'll actually start drinking. So really important, you got to listen to your body, listen to the functions, to where, you know, pay attention to your skin, to your mucous membranes, your mouth, your eyes, your nose. Pay attention to these things, these little details. These are the things that are going to give you indications of what you should and shouldn't do. Now, the things that I noticed that made a big difference, I sleep a lot better. I'm able to get to sleep easier, and I sleep throughout the night. I'm in a better mood on a more regular basis. I'm not always in a great mood, but I'm in a better mood on a more regular basis. The quality of my skin, I notice a substantial change in my skin quality. It's much softer, smoother, like a baby's butt, right? But I notice my wrinkles diminished. I feel and I look younger. My hair quality improved. I have more energy. I had headaches before. The headaches are gone. And I know that dehydration can and does cause headaches. So that's one of the things I attributed to of improving my headaches, and that was a great thing. I work out a lot, and the presence of water has helped my muscles to recover quicker, so I'm able to work out harder and longer, and basically get back to my workout on a quicker basis. And also, as I mentioned before, I had lowered blood pressure, and for me personally, I have a heart murmur. I take blood pressure medication. My blood pressure was slightly elevated before, but now I'm down to 120/80 on a regular basis. My resting heart rate is in the 60s, so I'm good. I feel healthy. I feel good. I feel younger. I think this is something, it's so simple. You got to do it. Highly recommend. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave some comments. I want to hear if you had any experiences yourself with drinking water. Please leave a comment. Don't forget to like our page, follow us. There's more videos coming, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys.